To our webinar, Online Advocacy with the Soapbox Engage Petitions app. Over the next few minutes, we're going to be sharing some of the essential features and functionality of our Petitions app. With the Petitions app, you're able to easily create compelling calls to action that mobilize your constituents and turn them into supporters of a given outcome that you wish to achieve. What we're going to be walking through is the details of what that looks like, as well as how you can go ahead and create a petition through the Petitions app. Just by way of introduction, my name is Tim Forbes. I'm the VP of Products and Marketing here at PicNet. We're the company behind the Soapbox Engage suite of online apps. Soapbox Engage, just to sum it up in a nutshell, is a platform that allows you to raise more money and change the world. And we do that through a number of different apps. That includes our donations app to allow you to fundraise online. That includes a peer-to-peer fundraising add-on. We've got our events app so that you can get event registrations for the activities that you're putting on. A classes app, which is really a more robust version of the events app if you have a full course catalog that you're looking to get registrations for. We have our forms app, which allows you to easily create forms that collect data from online users and push that data to Salesforce. We've got our directories tool, which does the exact opposite of the forms tool, allowing you to create queries easily without any code that pulls data from Salesforce and displays it on the front end of your site. We've got an e-commerce app called Shop that allows you to sell widgets and wares, subscriptions, memberships on your Soapbox Engage site. We've got our Petitions app that we're going to be focused here on in a moment, and our Actions app, which is really the other twin advocacy tool that we have that allows you to actually send messages to decision makers. We've got our website portals feature that essentially allows you to grant user login access to visitors that gives them a personalized experience of your Soapbox Engage instance and opens up some superpowers of all of these other apps in interacting with those logged in users. We've got our Soapbox Mailer, Salesforce native app that allows you to send mass emails directly in Salesforce. And then finally, we do have a full content management system as part of Soapbox. So if you ever wanted to have your full website hosted on Soapbox, you could elect to have that as well. Now, to the task at hand, we're going to walk through our Petitions app. Again, Petitions allows you to just in a few minutes create compelling calls to action. What we have here is an example of an organization that is seeking to get healthier food for elementary kids at Springfield Elementary School. What we see here is the title of the petition that's easily customized by you as an administrator. We've got a hero image that helps define what you're after, as well as a goal and progress section that allows you to identify how many supporters you're looking to rally, how many have signed already, and what percentage of that goal has been achieved. Further down, we see the appeal text so that you can define the essentials of what you're after. The letter itself that gets specific as to what you are wanting folks to sign their name to. Off to the side is where they actually do that signing of their name. The petition form here has first name, last name, email address, zip, and reason for signing, as well as the ability for a user to select whether or not their signature should be anonymous or not. This is one example of a form that you could create. There are additional standard fields that you can turn on or off. There's also the ability to go ahead and create custom fields that send data to Salesforce for any specific question that you want to add to the form that isn't one of those standard fields. Moving down, we're able to see the supporters section. Here we've elected to have just 3 signatures displayed on the petition. They're the 3 most recent signatures. We could have chosen to have just the most recent signature, or the most recent 100 signatures. We've got social sharing tools here on the page. These are present both on the petition form itself, as well as the thank you page that is displayed once someone signs. And then the final element on the form we have is the page outro, where you can tuck in some non-essential elements that need to be on the page but don't need to be highlighted up at the top. Now, if we go ahead and sign this petition and click Sign It, we'll go ahead and see that the data for this signature is saved to Soapbox, so you can see it in the administrator. We'll be showing you that in just a moment, as well as saved to Salesforce in real time. This is extremely helpful for those who are coordinating a campaign for a petition and using that to turn around messages to your supporter base so that you know who has signed and who hasn't. And you can follow up in communication with your constituents, with your supporters, based on that information in Salesforce if you wish. So you can designate mass emails to different groups depending on whether or not they've signed or not. One thing that's good to point out is that the Petitions app was built with mobile in mind. We want folks to be able to sign your petition form as easily from their mobile phone as they're standing in line at, say, the grocery store, as they could if they're sitting in front of a desktop computer. So here we have an example of the mobile version of the form that shows that same content. It's just in one column, and we have a sticky button here for Sign the Petition that is designed to appear at the bottom of the phone no matter where we scroll up and down the page. We can also see that those different sections that we have are collapsed, so that for that summary section at the top, we show just the beginning and then have the ability to extend that to show the entirety of the message, of the page intro. Then we've got the letter itself that's expandable in the section, as well as the supporters list that is expandable. And then we've still got the same social sharing tools. That's a glimpse at the front end. Let's go ahead and take a look at the administrator. If we go ahead and come to the administrator and log in, we get to see the full control panel here. And there's a number of ways that we can navigate to the Petitions app. Within the entire suite of the Soapbox Engage apps, we've got the most recent forms that we have for donations, events, actions, etc. here in this center left column. For petitions, we can come down and see our two most recent petitions. The one that we're interested in is the Add More Fresh Fruit. And if we wish, we can do a number of things directly from this particular module. We can choose to customize the URL if we don't want that to be healthier-kids. We can go ahead and view it on the front end, or we can click Edit to jump right to the edit view of that particular petition. What we're going to do is go ahead and click View All, and that opens up the petition manager that lists all of our petitions that we have. Additional ways that you can navigate around the Soapbox Engage experience is by using the app launcher over here to the left. This is very familiar to anybody that uses Salesforce and has the Lightning experience. From here, we've got our standard apps that are included in this particular Salesforce Engage instance. We can go ahead and choose to click Petitions, or if we don't see what we are looking for right off the bat here, we can also search in the search bar and then find what we're after. So we'll go ahead and click Petitions, and that again opens up this petition manager. From here, we see the list of the petitions showing both the title that's visible on the front end to users, as well as the description that we've set for each of our petitions that's available just to us here as administrators. We see the status of whether or not this petition is published and accessible on the front end or not. Whether or not this petition is set to any user, any visitor, or only folks that are logged in, that is specific to sites that have selected to have our web portals add-on. Generally, you're not going to be setting petitions to be restricted to only logged in users, but that's an option for you if you choose to exercise it. We can see the number of supporters as well as the goal and percentage of our goal, who created the petition and when it was created. We'll go ahead and click into the petition to work now with the details that we've got here. So creating the petition or editing the petition, as we'll do in this case, is pretty straightforward. When we open up the Basics tab, we're able to alter the title as we wish. Just as we could in the module on the control panel, we can customize the URL here just by clicking Customize URL, or view the page as we've done on the first tab here during our webinar. We can publish or not this petition from the edit view, and we can go ahead and select which campaign in Salesforce we wish to link this petition to. So as part of the process of Soapbox saving details of the signer to Salesforce, it associates that signer with a campaign in Salesforce, so you can easily tell who signed what petition. Within this campaign select feature, you're able to both choose an existing campaign in Salesforce or opt to create a new one on the fly that will immediately create it in Salesforce and then associate this petition with that campaign. Further down, we see that we can set a goal for our supporters. That's what displays in the progress area on the front end of the petition. We can choose whether or not we're accepting supporters. This may seem a bit odd to have as an option, but it is quite helpful if you have a petition that has passed in terms of a particular deadline that you're looking to get signatures for the petition, but you still want to display the petition, make that available on the front end of your site with Soapbox Engage, and you want to show the results of that petition, but you don't want to accept new signatures. The number of supporters to display, this is where we can opt to alter that number of 3 as we saw on the front end. The internal description is available here. The ability to upload a header image is here on this tab as well. Now within all of the different sections that we're going to be walking through within our petitions example, we're able to alter any of the text that is displayed on the front end. It's not just the appeal or the letter, but things down to this different section titles. Those are available for you to easily alter here. What we've done is we've tucked them in this customize headings and labels little slider, because ordinarily folks aren't going to be looking to edit these elements. So we don't want them to crowd the space here as you're working with the petition, but you can easily click that button, expand this panel, and alter that text as you wish. We've also got the ability to define the various elements of the social sharing. That includes the Facebook share title, the default description, and then the Twitter share text. Moving on further, the Appeal tab is where we can define that initial description that appears just below the progress bar and above the letter. Further down is the letter itself that we can set the text for. It's important to note that the appeal, both the description here at the top as well as the letter, and then even further down the page outro, can include not just text but a variety of other elements that could include an embedded video, an image. It's really up to you to decide how you want to customize those sections. Moving on to the Form tab, here's where we can choose to show or hide various standard fields in the form. We can also set them to required or not required if you wish. We've got the ability to set a default country. So if you are looking to roll out a petition campaign in some place other than the United States, you can set the default country to have one less thing that folks need to change. Looking further down, here's where we can go ahead and very easily add Salesforce fields that are custom fields to this form to capture very specific information that isn't included in these fields up at the top. On our Messages tab, we've got the ability to define first and foremost what happens after someone submits their petition form. That could either be displaying a success message, as we see here, or we could go ahead and set things to redirect to another URL. So if you've got some sort of next action page on your website or some other next action that is a different Soapbox Engage form, that could be the URL that you send folks to. We've also got the ability to send an email to an administrator to let them know that someone has signed the petition, and send an email to the user themselves. The final tab here is a layout tab that has a whole host of options for turning on and off various elements, for customizing yet more text, for changing the colors of a number of items. That is all available to you here to customize the petition to your heart's content. That's how you can either edit or add a new petition or edit an existing petition within Soapbox Engage. Once you have a petition up, you can view your supporters by going to the Supporters tab and see those various folks here. We've got our 5 supporters for our Add More Fresh Fruit to Springfield Elementary that are visible within this tab. That is an overview of our Soapbox Engage Petitions app. If you'd like to learn more, feel free to check out our Soapbox Support Center. We've got a lot of details there about how you can go ahead and manage your Petitions app. Or if you're interested in adding the Petitions app, just feel free to go to soapboxengage.com and reach out to us through our Contact Us form. We'll be happy to follow up and help you out. Thanks so much.